when I'm dealing with sampling, I'm usually working with pretty basic techniques, actually. Like most of the heavy lifting is done with cutting and pasting, with a couple different ways to handle volume, pitch shifting, and then kind of the standard effects are just compression, reverb, EQ. And then there's like little spicier, fancier things that you can throw in, but that's like the basic tool set. So I thought I would demonstrate this stuff with the, did anyone see my Lake Louise video recently? Yeah, I went to Banff in Canada, most beautiful part of Canada, and I got hooked up with this travel company that like took me to, rode a helicopter, dog sledding, skiing, and I was like filming all this stuff and wanting to make a soundtrack for it that was like super hype, using sounds from those activities. So I was like recording the helicopter, which like it makes the best sound starting up. It's like. So I recorded that, I recorded the dogs, I recorded some skiing, and it was actually a challenge like coming up with this, but I ended up making this track that's like pretty banging. So the only thing I added to that were some like stock Ableton drums. I do have some videos on my channel about how to make drum sounds out of a lot of different things, but just to like be faster on this trip when I was making this, I added my other drums. But I did do the hi-hats with dog breaths, which was just chopping them into tiny pieces and then taking out the low end. And that was just like a fun thing that I figured out that was like, when you're dealing with a sound that doesn't maybe immediately feel like it has musical qualities, equating it to something like a hi-hat where it's like, okay, we only need high end. It can be like a really short, choppy sound. It doesn't have to have like a pitch to it. And I thought that worked pretty well. And I did a similar thing with the helicopter, which is like, it sounds like a cymbal from a drum machine, but it's just like noise from propellers. And so, I'm always thinking about like what's going on in the whole frequency spectrum and like what do we really need and how can we take advantage of what's there and just like cut away a bunch of stuff. I'm rarely adding, and a lot of times I'm just taking stuff away, whether that's like I've got this 30-second recording and I'm going to use half a second, or I've got this huge amount of noise, I'm going to take just the treble. And I think that is something that is like one of the things that I do a lot is just like making a lot out of a little. In terms of the volume handling kind of stuff that I talked about, I do a lot with just fading stuff like Ableton's fades or